Hi, hello, good evening. I'm Dr. Gail Randall and it's 6 o'clock. So welcome to my Instagram TV. If you're here now, you're my date. I always tell the same joke and I still laugh. Anyway, hi Patty. Oh, it's so good to see you here. Hi Bruce. Hi Ellen. Nice to see you guys here. Today we're going to talk about sleep and anxiety, which kind of go together. It seems like after COVID, 2 years of it, I'm seeing a lot of problems in my office with sleep. I mean, people had sleep problems before, but now it's worse than ever because we've, developed all these COVID habits, if you will, like staying up late, watching TV, eating late, maybe drinking alcohol at night. Alcohol is funny because it makes you feel sleepy in the beginning when you drink it, but in about 3 hours it wakes you up. So that's not a really great thing to do if you're having trouble sleeping. So we're going to talk about, why this is happening, and we're going to talk about what we can do about it, okay? So it's been challenging this last couple of years. Like I said, we've developed all these COVID-related habits, if you will, and, not helping with that is the fact that our food is 30% more expensive, and that's primarily because of the supply chain disruption and the labor reduction. Is only like 50% of people have come back to work in a lot of different areas, including the grocery stores and hospitals. That's a big deal. So, that all makes us nervous. So how do we get ourselves calmed down so that we don't lose sleep over it, so that we don't, walk around jittery and anxious? There are steps that we can take to help ourselves have better nights, to help ourselves be less anxious. So let's talk about some of those steps. First of all, a lot of it's what you do during the day. So when you wake up in the morning, get up. Get right up. Because if you establish a time that you are going to wake up, you should try to wake up at that time every day. I do. I mean, I don't even set an alarm because my eyes just go boink at 6 o'clock. They just wake up. And so the first thing you want to do is look at bright light. Well, we don't have bright outside light right now at 6 o'clock, but you can look at bright inside light, and then as soon as the sun comes up, and now I know why my American Indian teachers and friends, did this, is they do what's the sunrise song. So it's not like you have to do a song, but go outside, look at the rising sun. I mean, not right at it, because you're not supposed to look right at the sun, but look at the sun's light and welcome your day. And that sends a message to your brain and turns off that sleepy melatonin and, sets your clock. So you want to set your clock, not just for waking up, but also for going to sleep. So we'll talk about that. And you shouldn't vary by more than an hour, or you're going to screw up your circadian rhythms or your clock. So try to wake up at the same time almost every day. Don't vary more than an hour. And like I said, look at bright light as soon as it comes up. And a nice ritual would be welcoming the sun. The sun, or if you do know the sunrise song, sing it. Or come, if you're one of my patients, I'll teach it to you when you come. Also try to have regular times for your meals. So you want to eat breakfast at about the same time, lunch at about the same time, if you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some people do intermittent fasting, so do your first meal at the same time as you do every day. And that sends messages to your brain to keep that clock, okay? And it actually affects your sleep. What's happened with COVID is we lost our boundaries in a lot of ways. We walk around in our pajamas all day because we work at home. Well, that sends a message to your brain. Oh, it's sleepy time. So go ahead and get dressed. Get dressed, or at least change your clothes into day clothes, and make boundaries with yourself. Eat at the same time. Don't allow yourself to just snack throughout the day, because that sends a different message to your brain too. So you should have a ritual at night. There should be 3 or 4 things that you always do before you go to bed. Like, I always wash my face, or if I haven't taken a shower, I always brush my teeth, and I always get a glass of water and set it beside my bed. So those are 3 things that I always do before I go to. Of course, I turn off all the lights. And think this: if you're trying to relax and you're trying to sleep, you can play soft music. Use maybe candlelight. I don't really like candlelight with paraffin and matches, because that's toxic, we now know. So I use battery candles. And so soft light, soft music, soft clothes. And that sends a message to your brain, hey, it's sleepy time. So those are all things you can do. And your body and your brain need a clear distinction between what's day and what's night. And a lot of us during COVID have allowed, the office to sort of move into the bedroom. I mean, a number of my patients tell me they work in bed. Now, maybe that's good for having your feet up, but it's really not a good message for your body. So at least have a barrier, some kind of chair or something that signifies this is nighttime, this is daytime. You don't want to move your daytime into your bed, because your bed is your sleeping vehicle, your dreaming vehicle, and that's where you're going to get your rest. And if you start mucking it up with a bunch of daytime stuff, your brain goes, oh, it's time to be awake. So no, we don't want to do that. So try to make a clear distinction for your brain, even though you go, no, I get it. No, but your brain doesn't get it. So try to make a clear distinction between daytime and nighttime. The other thing is exercise. Of course, exercise is really good for reducing stress. We all know that. And I always wondered this, but after studying it, exercise right before bed is not a good, it wakes you up, because it increases your body temperature, and that wakes you up. So you want it to be at least 4 hours that you exercise before you go to bed. So try to make that distinction as well. I already mentioned alcohol, but watch out what you drink. I mean, if you drink caffeine all day long, that's still going to be there and active in your body to keep you awake at night. So that's probably not a good thing. Some people tell me, oh, I can drink coffee right up to the time I go to bed. Well, maybe, but if you're having trouble sleeping, that wouldn't be a thing to do. And also remember, chocolate, which we all love, has caffeine in it too, so that can keep you awake. So talking about body temperature, the best sleep is really when you're cool. So take a warm shower at night after you get out. That water evaporating from your body cools you off very quickly. And then keep the temperature of your room colder. So take your pre-sleep routine seriously. It really does have an effect on the nighttime stuff. Some of you have wives or mates or husbands, and they have a different schedule than you, or they're really active or jumping around at night. So what I say then is make your space within your space. So you're going to have to also make some boundaries with your roommate slash mate slash husband, wife, so that you can get your sleep. You may need to ask them to help you out there. The other thing is about screen time. Screen time is, TVs are screen time too. So screen time emits a blue light, which wakes you up. It's like UV lights. It's morning. But it isn't good for your brain, especially at night. It agitates you. So if you're going to look at, like a lot of people read on Kindles or things like that, I still prefer the old way with books, but I find myself reading more and more on the computer, and I'm sure maybe you discovered it, but there's a dark mode on your computer and on your phone. So at least use that when it's anywhere within 4 hours of bedtime. Okay? That'll help you sleep better. Yvonne, do you really want to be in my Instagram? I think you hit the wrong button, but I'm nice to see you here. Hi, Suzanne. Anyway, so no screen time within 4 hours before bed, okay? And if you do have to, put it on dark mode. So one sleep promoting activity would, like I said, would be a bath. And even though it's a warm bath, like I said, you would be surprised how quickly when you get out of that shower or bath that it cools down your body very rapidly. And also makes you feel clean. When you get in your soft bed, it's cozy. So it's a good thing to do before bed. And like I said, if your bedroom, if your daytime office stuff is creeped into your bedroom, you need to make some kind of clear divide. Maybe some people don't have as much room, but you need some sort of partition that says this is daytime, this is nighttime, or your brain gets confused. If the light seeps in from the outside, you may want to consider blackout shades. And if you just really can't, then maybe your spouse is in the next room listening to music or watching television. They have these, if music doesn't do it for you, white noise machines. When I get home, this has to do with anxiety too. I do everything that I can do to tell my brain, tell my autonomic nervous system, it's time to relax. And so you want to increase your vagal tone. So let me go back to what I said a little while ago. Soft music, soft light, soft clothes. And I prefer the natural way, although a lot of people like these devices like biofeedback. HeartMath has a plethora of these biofeedback programs where you make the balloon float or things like that. I personally like the old-fashioned breathing or meditation. So, but if those things work for you, hey, in these COVID times, use them. They are cool. I had a patient in the other day, a doctor, and he had on his wrist a pulse electromagnetic device, and it calms him down. So that's kind of cool. And they have these aura rings and all these different devices. Like I said, if you're a device person, go for it, try it, because anything that can calm you down is what we want to do right now. My favorite thing is breathing. If you're too wound up to meditate, sometimes your brain is bouncing all over the place and you're thinking about what happened during the day or what might happen tomorrow or the next day. Do this easy kind of breathing. I call it Buddha belly breathing, because when you breathe in, it's the opposite of exercise, where you raise your diaphragms. When you breathe in, your stomach rises. And when you breathe out, it automatically falls. So I recommend breathing in through your nose for a count of 5, then breathing out through your mouth for a count of 6. And then just get into that rhythm. And have you ever seen babies breathe? When they breathe in, their tummy comes up, their tummy rocks. We're born knowing how to breathe, and then we get stressed out as adults and we forget. Not only do we forget, we hold our breath when we get anxious. So I want you to get into the habit of breathing and don't hold your breath. And when you feel anxious, do this kind of breathing. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 5. Breathe out through the mouth for a count of 6. Now, once you get better at it, you can increase those numbers and maybe go to 6 and 7 or 7 and 8, but just start with, 5 and 6. And it works pretty good no matter what level you're at. And once you get that really polished, you can insert a visualization, something that calms you. I like to use a cool blue pool of water, like I imagine a pond or a small lake, and it's just completely smooth and beautiful, maybe in nature. And then if you hear a sound from the outside, it's like a ripple on the water, and you use your breath to smooth that water again so that it becomes absolutely smooth again. And just when you hear things from the outside, just observe them and let them go. The same with thoughts. When an outside thought comes in, you go, yeah, okay. And you use your breath to just clear it back out again. And once you get really good at that, you can sink into actual meditation, which you do for longer. Empty your mind and continue to do the breathing like we discussed. And then see what might come to you. But first you got to get the first part down really well so that a lot of extra thoughts don't come in, because it's really to get rid of those thoughts and then clear the way for more positive thoughts and forward-moving things to come to you. The other thing that they say when you're sleeping and you wake up, don't look at the clock, because then a lot of people that I call, they can't sleep because they're afraid they can't sleep. So, and then they look at the clock and they go, oh my God, it's only been an hour. Or, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Personally, when I wake up and see that I still have 3-4 hours to sleep, I'm like, yay, this is great. So I like it. I like seeing what time it is. But, you know, I can see where people that were more nervous about sleeping may not be a good thing. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, just try not to look at the clock. It just activates your brain and start thinking about you have to get up at a certain time, that kind of thing. And if you just can't sleep and you're lying there struggling, then get up. I'll just go into my breathing routine, and that's one thing you can do. But if that's not working, just get up, keep the lights low. Don't go to work. Resist the urge to work or do your checkbook or, you know, any other kind of work. Don't get on your phone. Don't get on your computer. Just maybe read an actual physical book or play some relaxing music. There's a station I found recently you might check out called Sun Lounger on Pandora. Oh my God, it's so relaxing. I just love it. Try that music. And when you feel sleepy again, go back to bed. So the other thing that I suggest is try a 2-week test where you eliminate all activity from bed, aside from sleep and sex. So don't do anything else in that bed except sleep, or if you're so lucky, to have sex with your partner. And if you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep more than 3 times a week for more than 3 months, you might want to seek professional help. But if you do all these things we talked about and keep good sleep hygiene, I think you'll find success in that. And then you're going to be more likely to be able to sleep. There are a few things I can't treat you because not all of you are my patients, but you know, melatonin does help. Sometimes people say, no, melatonin actually keeps me awake, gives me bad dreams. Something that's really safe, you know, is chamomile tea. That helps relax you. And if you just are one of these people that is anxious all the time, you might be spiking your cortisol, and that will keep you awake. So, you know, ask your doctor, but, you know, I prescribe things like Magnolia officinalis, and that's a natural thing that can help reduce your high cortisol levels. And if that's not good enough, you may want to see a functional doctor like me that does HPA testing or hypothalamus pituitary adrenal testing and see what's out of whack there. You may have a low serotonin or a GABA, or, you know, your norepinephrine may be too high, or, like I said, your cortisol. What about napping? You know, I always wondered about napping. I see these people that do napping in the middle of the day, and I always wondered, whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. I guess it depends on the person, but this expert that I read, Dr. Bosse, says that napping is like eating a peanut butter sandwich before dinner, and it ruins your appetite for sleep. So, and if you do nap, don't keep it to like 20 minutes or less. That's enough to satisfy you and not enough to kill your entire appetite. I guess it's like eating too much appetizers. The other thing that's been going on that's been causing a lot of stress is, of course, not just the news, but being isolated. Some of us don't have partners, and so it's really, I certainly emphasize, it's really important that you stay connected. Stay connected with your friends, which are your non-blood family. Talk to them on the phone. Go out to eat at an outside place when you can. Stay connected, because staying connected to loved ones makes you feel safe, and it makes you feel less anxious, as you don't feel alone. It reduces your stress. So try to do that. And also, if you have a dog, you can at least be with your dog, take your dog out, pet your dog. There's a reason they have therapy dogs, because they really do help us relax. They tune into our nervous systems, and they take some of the stress off us, and they're happy to. They're our angels on earth. And cats too. So, like I said, anxiety is another part of it. And I recommend that breathing technique for your anxiety. Don't stay isolated. Stay connected. And, do that thing I told you about to increase your vagal tone. A lot of people jump on the phone or the iPad and look at everything that they can possibly look at in terms of COVID and statistics and stuff like that. Honestly, if you look once a week, it's probably enough. You're going to stay up on what's happening, and you don't need to constantly, the news is enough, and I actually recommend for my patients a lot of times, stop watching the news, because it just makes you nervous. And, if you look at the news or the statistics on your iPad or your phone, don't do it every day. It's too much for your nervous system. Just being on that amount of screen time. They've done studies, and they've shown that people's screen time during COVID has increased by 30 to 50%. Okay, so it's not just the blue light, which agitates your brain, but what are you allowing in your brain? So it's not just what you eat. It's what's eating you. So try to stay away from too much of that. So, do your devices if they work for you. Do the breathing, do the soft light, soft music, soft clothes, and don't wear your pajamas all day long, or you're going to give your brain the wrong message. So that's pretty much my message about how to address anxiety and sleep, and it really does work. But the main sort of message is boundaries. We've lost our boundaries during COVID in a lot of ways, and we need to have boundaries, to give soft messages to our brain about it's time to go to sleep, or you're safe, you don't need to be anxious. So that's my message today. Set your own boundaries, make your space within your space, breathe. We did it as infants when we were born, and we just need to relearn it. Do you guys have any questions, or anybody want to add anything? Hi, Manny. Okay. Do y'all sleep well? Oh, it's called Sun Lounger. You want to know what was the name of the station? Oh, you're going to love it. It's called Sun Lounger, and it's just song after song. They're the most relaxing tones. they're just amazing. Like I used to listen, well, I still do, to American Indian flute music. That would relax me. But this is like it's a new sound. And so your brain likes new sounds and your brain likes music. And so it's really fantastic. Oh, HPA stands for hypothalamus pituitary adrenal. And Senesco does the one that I really like. And I get a lot of information. I've helped thousands, literally thousands of people with that test. I did a study where I had 5,000 people, and I found, that what we can actually correct this using natural neuro support in the form of amino acids and vitamins. We know what reaction in the body makes serotonin. We know what chemical reaction makes GABA. We know what chemical reaction makes dopamine and norepinephrine, epinephrine, and we know how to feed those reactions if you happen to be low on those neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters are the juices that really determine how you feel. So we want our serotonin to be nice and plump and healthy. That helps us sleep. That helps us stay calm. Meditation helps that. Sleep helps that. Getting your vagal tone, like I said, up helps that. GABA is an overall relaxing neurotransmitter for your whole body. And dopamine is like the feel-good neurotransmitter. It gives you motivation and gives you joy. So, and what can increase that other than exercise and happiness is there are amino acids that we can help you with. So if you're feeling down and fatigued and not energetic, find a functional medicine practitioner that does those kind of tests. Because I've balanced out, and then it's permanent. Then you're healed, so you don't have to take a medicine for the rest of your life. Ellen Johnson's formula is magnesium, reishi mushroom, and chocolate, hot chocolate. Yeah, the only problem with that is the hot chocolate may have caffeine in it, so I might not suggest that for somebody that has a serious sleep problem. But magnesium threonate is the best one for anxiety and for sleep because that gets across your blood-brain barrier. Thanks, Ellen. So, yeah, the breathing helps a lot. I don't know, just the idea of taping my mouth closed. I don't know about that. But there is this alternate nostril breathing that you can do that really helps focus if you're meditating, just to get going. What is vagal tone? The biggest nerve in your body is called the vagus nerve, and it attaches to your brain and goes, guess where? To your gut, but it runs up and down your spinal cord, and it's the biggest element in the autonomic nervous system. So if your vagal tone is poor, you're going to have a lot of problems with anxiety. If your vagal tone is strong, your autonomic nervous system on the calming side is strong. So that's what vagal tone is. And so when you relax, that increases your vagal tone. Oh, Alan's saying the hot chocolate drink is a reishi mushroom drink. That sounds great. Good for your immune system, too, during this time of COVID. Reishi is fantastic. Immune booster. Yep. So, anybody else have suggestions as to how to calm down, how to sleep? I have this great new bath salt that comes from Saltworks. And they're the sponsors for my podcast, Soul Stories. And it's organic. And it's CBD, and he made a patented formula where it's emulsified. The CBD is emulsified and actually does go into the water and actually does go through your skin. And it's not the kind of thing like, it's going to make you out of it or euphoric or something like that. It's just extremely relaxing. Or even if you have like a hard workout, it helps those muscles to heal. It's just fantastic. You can call my office and get it or look online, although I don't know a lot, saltworks.com. Yeah, lavender helps a lot too. Those salts I was just telling you about come in lavender. So the CBD, lavender, is fantastic. A hot water bottle, yeah, it's a good one. Some honestly, it depends on the person. I personally like ice, because I want to be cold when I'm sleeping. Because I'm a hot mama, or I'm in that period of my life where I like ice. I like it cold in my bedroom, and I like ice. Sometimes I sleep with an ice pack. Yeah, I mentioned PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic therapy, and um, I have looked at the different machines, the high and low intensity systems, and they really do work. Like I said, this colleague of mine had a small one on his wrist that he has a lot of anxiety problems, so it really helps him a lot. Yeah, PEMF, and so that they also have these blankets that you can lay on, and they work really well. They increase your microcirculation, but they're expensive. But the little wrist ones, I think we could, maybe some of us could afford those. So yeah, they also have those that have lasers. They give you a low intensity laser pulse to like an acupuncture point um, in your wrist, like pericardial 7, and that calms you down too. So there's a lot of ways to get up the mountain. Anybody else have any suggestions? Those are good ones. Yeah, do you have an acupressure mat? I've never tried that. So is it just like the acupressure things that you wear on your feet, the little nubbins sticking up? Also, magnetics. A lot of people use magnetics, a magnetic mat, or She says there's a Pink Lotus Yogi says there's a mattress and a mattress topper that offer infrared energy. Well, that would be fantastic for detoxification. I'm not sure it would help me sleep, because personally I like to be cold, but it'd be a great therapy for sure. Oh, Ellen says that the yoga mat is like a little acupressure needle sticking up. Okay, that also sounds like a therapy to me. I would love that, but I wouldn't want to sleep with it so much. Oh, it's not hot, the infrared. Oh, okay. Well, it is though. I mean, it comes from heat on the. If you look at the light spectrum, it's on the heat side, and as we know, it does heat you up. Passion flower tea, love it. Um, Passion flower, chamomile, lavender, all of these wonderful teas that calm you down. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah, I just think we got to remember we're not where we were 2 years ago, and we've changed some of our habits, and we just need to step back and look at them and see what can we do to correct our alignment. We've gotten a little off course, and that's caused us to be anxious. It's caused us not to sleep well. And peace and blessings to you too. Thank you. That's another way, because this is we're connecting right now. We're connecting. We're giving love to each other, and this is all good stuff. It's going to help us be more calm and more apt to sleep well. Yeah, don't eat late. Definitely don't eat late. You want to leave at least 4 hours before you lie down at night. And if you have reflex problems, maybe even longer, maybe 5 hours. And just remember, liquids empty faster than solids, so you may want to eat your solid food in the middle of the day and maybe eat a soup or something like that at night. Something lighter. Yeah, for sure. Don't ever go to bed with a full stomach. Like the worst thing you could do would be eat a gigantic steak, a bunch of wine, and go lay down. That's going to wake you up for sure in about 3 hours and you're not going to be comfortable. So, you know, the other thing is nature. I go to nature when I want to be calm. I look outside, or I see my beautiful horse. I look at the mountains, at the trees, at the plants, or if I can't go anywhere, I just go in the backyard and look at my garden. So Pink Lotus Yogi is saying that there's a substance called Celiant, Celliant, which are natural mineral fibers that are embedded into the mattress fabric, and they absorb the body's energy and convert it to a usable form, then recycle it back into the body. That sounds very interesting. The reaction results in increased blood flow and oxygenation. Well, that's what we want. We want that for sure. And that's why I like that pulsed electromagnetic therapy, because it increases your microcirculation too. She's saying you can find sportswear. Under Armour has it. Awesome. Thank you. Hugging a tree and going barefoot in the grass does it for me. Absolutely, Nova. I agree with you. That's my thing. I'm an outside girl. Yeah. Or just hugging my horse or petting my horse. I don't have a puppy anymore, for those of you that do. www.ciliant.com, Cillint.com, for the microcirculation. You know, that would be really good for people with, well, not only vascular problems, but autoimmune disease, because that's a microcirculation problem, or people with blood sugar problems. So thanks for that. That's a very good suggestion. We'll look into that. Is it terribly expensive? I know those pulsed electromagnetic mats are expensive. Oh, I want a farm too. Yeah, I agree. But you know, there's animals everywhere. Whether we have a farm or we don't, you know, just I watch outside, I see bunnies, I see squirrels, I see birds. You know, animals are everywhere. And we need to pay more attention to the animals and plants and things, because they are, you know, nature heals. Nature truly heals. That's why a lot of people go to nature, go for a walk. If you can't go for a walk, get someone to take you. Yeah. Yeah, I have an organic garden. I have like 14 fruit trees. But I think the more that we can all grow food and grow organic food on a little farm, on a big farm, you know, that's regeneration. That's what we need right now on our planet. You know, we're all facing this big crisis, but if we all come together and do small things, like even growing an organic garden, that's huge. That brings about big changes for the planet and humanity. So just, you know, add up all those little things that we can do for our own self-healing. Buy organic, grow food, don't use single-use plastics anymore. It seems small. Oh, I'm just one person. But if we get a critical mass of people doing those things, it's huge. And it will change the planet. She's very sensitive. We showed that during COVID 2020. So there's no question that the scientists' algorithms were wrong, because, you know, everything got so much better, so much faster than they thought it ever could. So Nova's saying this planet is a hot mess, and I agree with you. That's my message. We can change it. What I ask people to do is this, and my book's coming out in March, and I talk a lot about this. When you wake up in the morning, it's like John Kabat-Zinn, who teaches mindfulness. It's a type of mindfulness. When you wake up and you see those sun's rays, hold in your heart the idea of the planet. I mean, we're all on this planet together. One humanity, one planet. And if you make every choice that you have, try it for one day. Make every choice that day with the planet and regeneration in mind. So don't choose anything outside of that, and you'll find everything you choose is something that makes you feel good. And then it's going to help the planet too, so that makes you feel good. So it isn't like, oh, I can't do it, I'm just one person, let them do it. No. We are the solution. And if we start choosing that way and hold her in our heart, hold the planet in our heart, and choose your food with regeneration in mind, choose your clothes with regeneration in mind. You know, we buy way too many clothes. It's a huge source of, carbon debt. And, drive your car with that in mind. Everything you do should be with regeneration at the center. Yeah, Patrick, I agree with you. It's a great system. It's talking about pulse electronic therapy again. Okay. So hold the planet in your heart. Be mindful of everything you choose with the planet in the center. And we will make this a better place to be. That we can do it, and we can do it with a positive attitude. And then you can feel good about what you do and what you choose. And not have everything be scary and, like it's a big thing. It's not. Small steps by humankind are going to bring great results for our planet. One humanity, one planet. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciated this tonight. It was a nice interactive session. Don't forget to DM me. Okay? Love you guys. Blessings to you too. I'll see you soon. Thanks, honey. Thanks, Patrick. Don't forget to DM me.